This video lesson is about chord theorems or part 2 of chord theorems. Next. So, kung gagawa tayo ulit ng chords, so let's have points D and G. We connect that and we form chords on point D. Okay, using points BC. And then on point G, we have point CF. Now, let's try measuring the segments. The measure of segment DA is 4 units, while the measure of segment GA is also 4 units. So, parehas ang distance nung dalawang chords mula sa center. Now, what about the chords? Okay, so segment BC is 6 units, while segment EF is also 6 units. So, yung dalawang chords, parehas ng haba, parehas ng length, na parehas din dapat ang distance nila from the center. Let's have another one. What if we have another circle? The point T and U. Then forming chords. Now, let's measure the distance from the center of the chords. So, segment OU is 3 units. Segment OT is also 3 units. So, parehas. Now, what about the chords? Segment PQ measures 8 units, while segment RS measures 8 units also. So again, they are the same. Pero parehas lang yung haba ng chords kung parehas ang distance nila from the center. Now, let's try. The distance chord theorem states that, okay, what do you think are the missing terms? Chords are congruent if and only if their distances from the center are congruent, or in this case, equal. Now, another feature or another concept related to chords is that meron silang subtended arc. Ito yun. Yan. Let's try measuring that. That's arc EF. And that will be that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 75 degrees. What about the other arc? Yung nasa kabila naman, arc BC. It's also 75 degrees. So, kung parehas pala yung chords, parehas din yung minor arcs nila or yung subtended arcs nila. Let's have the other example. This time, let's measure arc RS. That's 110 degrees. Let's look at arc PQ. It's also 110 degrees. Okay, so nalaman natin na kapag yung chords are the same, yung minor arcs na katapat niya, yung minor arcs na katapat nila are also the same. So that is the chord arc congruence theorem, which states that, okay, minor arcs are congruent if and only if their corresponding chords are congruent. Right, let's try applying the concept to examples. So in this figure, ano kaya pwede nating ma-interpret dito? So these lines represent na may parehas. Alin kaya yung parehas? So segment OB has the same measure or distance with segment OD. So parehas yung length nila. At that suggests na yung chords na EF or segment EF has the same distance from the center with segment AC. So kung alam natin yun, alam din natin na yung chords nila will be equal. So segment EF measures 12 units, therefore segment AC will also measure 12 units. Now, since parehas naman yung mga chords nila, yung mga arcs na katapat will be the same. So this one, arc AC measures 90 degrees. So yung arc EF will also be 90 degrees. Now, what about arc AE? Arc AE is this one. Okay. Arc AE Tingnan natin yung buong circle. Okay, 360 degrees yan. Alam natin yung tatlong parts. This is 90, this is 90, and this is 45. So 360 minus this 90 minus 45 and minus this 90 will give us the measure of arc AE. And that will be 135 degrees. Let's have another example. Okay, so in circle O, square BODC has a side of 2 centimeter and the measure of arc AC equals 90 degrees. Okay, square BODC. Ito. BODC. This is the square. Has a side of 2 centimeter. So, ano yung measure ng bawat side? That's 2. 2, 2, and 2. Square yan eh. So, pare-parehas. At alam din natin sa square na ang angles nila, ang inner angles nila, puro 90 degrees. So, that's a right angle. That makes it, or segment OD makes it a perpendicular bisector of the chord. Yung dati nating napag-aralan. Kapag may right angle, kapag perpendicular, kapag 90 degrees ang measure between this line and the chord, that makes it a perpendicular bisector of the chord. So, that suggests na etong side na to will be the same as this side. Okay, let's deal with that later. Nasaan muna yung arc AC? This is arc AC, okay, and that measures 90 degrees. Now, let's try answering the question. So, find the measure of segment DE. This is segment DE. Bisector nga ito. So, ibig sabihin, parehas lang si segment CD tsaka segment DE. So, that makes it 2 centimeter. Okay, next. Segment AB. Oh, since square yan, lahat naman ng inner angles niyan 90 degrees. So, alam pa rin natin na perpendicular bisector ito. So, AB, segment AB is also 2 units or 2 centimeter rather. Next, segment AC, yung buo lang. And that makes it 4 centimeter. What about segment CE? Ito rin, the entire length of this. So 2 and 2, that will be 4 centimeter. What about arc CE? This is arc CE. O, tingnan natin yung chords nila. This is 4 units or 4 centimeter. This is also 4. So, alam natin na kapag parehas yung chord, parehas din yung arc na katapat niya. And that will be 90 degrees. Now, what about arc AE? Arc AE is this one. Okay? Yung buong circle again is 360. Meron tayong 90 dito. We know that this is also 90. Okay? So, 360 minus 90 minus another 90, that gives us 180 degrees for arc AE. Now, let's have problem C. In circle O, segment OQ is congruent with segment OT, and the measure of segment PR is 5 units, while the measure of arc SU is 40 degrees. Teka, lagyan muna natin yung mga data na yon. Segment OQ is congruent with segment OT. Okay, ito yon. OQ, OT, parehas daw sila. So, ibig sabihin, parehas din dapat ng chord na to. Okay, yun yung alam natin from the theorem. Segment PR is 5 units. Where is PR? That is PR and it's 5. Arc SU, where is arc SU? Sa baba. And that is 40 degrees. Now, let's find the measure of segment SU. Where is segment SU? Ito. Now, alam natin na yung chords na dalawa, parehas lang ang distance from the center. Therefore, the chords have to have equal length. So, kung 5 yon, segment SU will also have 5 units. What about arc PR? Arc PR. Where is arc PR? Ito. Since parehas yung chords, dapat parehas din yung angles nila. So, kung 40 degrees ito, therefore, arc PR also measures 40 degrees. Alright, that's it. Thank you.